Blighty Boxing in association with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions. Now, particularly thrilled to be joined by the still new Southern Area middleweight champion, Sean Phillips. How does that sound?
Yeah, it sounds good. I was lucky to get the fight in, but literally I think I was the last fight in London, or one of the last fights in London or the UK. So I was lucky, yeah.
Were you aware at the time you were reaching that sort of cut-off point? Did it cross your mind?
Literally, about a week before, there was a few talks of everything just being shut down, and I was getting a little bit worried. But then, as we got closer, just my mind was focused just on the fight, so it didn't really come into my head.
I mean, there was talk of, I think, one show they were actually turning up for the weigh-in, and then it all got cancelled. I mean, that would have broken your heart, wouldn't it?
All that hard work. It's making weight, I think, it's the worst part.
Anyway, so you went in York Hall, one of these last shows against Davis Pagan, is that his name?
Yeah.
Or have I got it the wrong way around?
Yeah, Davis Pagan.
Davis
that's
Pagan.
it, yeah.
And for want of a better word or phrase, you sort of you bum rushed him right from the first bell.
I knew what I wanted
was
to
that
do.
a game plan? Was Martin aware of that?
Not so much a game plan, but I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to take him out, deal with him early. I knew that I've seen in a few videos he couldn't really ride a shot, so I thought I'd try and get him out there early, make a bit of a statement, and that's what I've done.
So consciously, the moment you was off that stool, you were jumping on him?
Yeah, I knew what I was going there to do, stick it on him from the first round.
Because it's quite unusual. I mean, not many fighters actually do that sort of thing these days, so it could just be the shock factor.
Yeah, maybe.
Could have finished him off.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. I think I hit him, I've run out, hit him with a big backhand, and I think that stunned him from the beginning. And then I think it was just the pressure I just kept on him.
Do you know why I think suspect a lot of fighters don't do what you did? Is because they're so conscious of gassing. If you throw too many, in a quick space of time, and then all of a sudden you're out on your feet and ready for them to come and clock you back.
Yeah.
If you don't get them out, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. I mean, I trained hard for the fight. I knew my game plan. I knew that if I went out there, I had a big first round or even 2 rounds. I knew I still had a lot in the tank to ease the pace, come down and still do the 10 rounds if I had to, but I knew that he wouldn't be able to handle my power. And no disrespect, but I didn't think that he was going to. I didn't really take his power into account a little bit.
In terms of your boxing career, winning this title, which is a prestigious domestic title, and in terms of the traditional route, it's the one people like to get first.
Yeah.
What does that actually mean to you?
When I turned over, my goal was to win a Southern Area, and then whatever I'd done from there was what it was. But for me, winning that Southern Area, I've accomplished everything that I set out to do in boxing as a professional boxer. So that night, winning it the way I did in front of all of my people. I mean, he come to win. He sold best part of 150 to 200 tickets as well. Doing it in that style, it was the best night of my life.
Have you got that mission accomplished weight off your shoulders, or has that sort of refired your hunger to move it up a level?
In one respect, yes, it was. I've done it now, but now I'm thinking, right, what's next? What's the next title? What can I push on to next, and see what comes.
It's a tricky one for you though, that, isn't it? Because it's not like you can give up work, because you are work, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's a family business and you're an integral part of it.
Yeah.
You go from here to work every day. So I mean, it's not like you can take a few years out and say, I'm going to focus myself totally on the British title.
No.
It's not an option for you,
it's not an option, no. But I think I've got the way I work now is sort of, I've got into a routine. I've always done it. I'm up early in the mornings. I'm in the office from 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And then I have my bit of time out for training in the afternoon. I finish the day until 5, and then when I'm fighting, I try and train in the evenings as well. So, but I've got my head around how I've got to train and what I've got to do to be a champion. So,
do you ever factor in any sort of social time in that?
Yeah, you've got to, but it is hard. It's a very selfish sport. You do have to shut yourself away. I haven't lost friends because I'm lucky enough. I've got a lot of good friends around me that understand what I'm doing, and they want me to go and push on and do great things. So.
And you have done a great thing, and it's particularly gratifying, if you like. So I don't want to go over old ground, but if you go back to the beginning when you turned over as a professional, you had that really unjust draw. I think it was at the Copper Box on your debut, and that did whack you for six.
Yeah,
didn't it?
But looking back on it, it was almost the best thing that has ever happened to me. I don't want to mention it. I can't mention it. Anthony Fox. He's a tough fighter, and even now I would put it to anybody. He's a good fighter, and he'll give any prospect in the country a good hard fight, especially at middleweight as well. He naturally fights at a super middleweight. He weighed in as a super middleweight. I weighed in as a middleweight. It was my debut. I didn't really know what I was going into. I had 2 years from amateur to pro. So I was going in on this big stage. A
lot of people there.
A lot of people there against an absolute lunatic. When in your head, I'm not saying that you get just given wins, but in your head you have your debut and you go out there and you have a nice fight, maybe a stoppage, you look good in front of all your people. I went out there into the unknown after 2 years of not fighting, and I've got this lunatic coming at me. So
and you got your feet tangled up.
I got my feet tangled up, and it was just unlucky, but it was a great learning experience, and I mean I took a lot from it. It matured me a lot as a person.
You're saying that now, but at the time it put you out of the game for 6-10 months.
It absolutely broke me, because I know I've had a loss on my record, and I've had a draw, but I am a winner. Do you know what I mean? Everything I try and do, I like to push on, and I like to try and win. Like the runs, me and Louis, we have good battles. All the boys have good battles, but I like to think of myself as a winner, and coming away from there with a draw, didn't lose, but it wasn't what, as a boy, you imagine your debut to be.
Moving things forward, how much confidence did that Ultimate Boxer give you in terms of, I can operate at this level against experienced opponents?
Yeah, Ultimate Boxer, I think, was a massive turning point for me. Not so much the fight, but the build-up. It gave me like a real fire in my belly.
You're a late entry into it as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a late entry in it. I think I was the youngest. I think I had the least amount of fights in the competition. I only got to the semi-finals, but I had a decent first fight, stopping him in a minute. And the second fight against a very experienced Grant Dennis, who's a quality fighter, and I definitely didn't look like a muppet in front of him. So,
if anything, he old manned you for probably a round and a half.
Yeah.
And then you got your stuff together.
Listen, he caught me with an absolutely lovely shot in that first round. I caught him with a lovely shot in the third round, and it was the second round where he was busier. So,
just slightly busier, wasn't he?
Slightly busier, yeah, and that's all it was. But
yeah, confidence-wise, and you took a lot from it.
Yeah, took a lot from that. Took a lot from the last fight as well. Doing that in that fashion.
Now, has this? Have you recalibrated your sort of goals in this game now? Is it you do want to look towards English, towards British? Is that your
I think English
now?
would be next. I'm not going to be unrealistic. I think maybe have a little bit more time in the gym, get back fit, because I haven't really done a lot in the off period. Maybe look at getting the English title would be lovely, and then again look at where we go from there. I've got a lot going on in my personal life. I've got a baby due in 5 weeks.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I've got a baby due in 5 weeks, and then like I said, work is flat out all the time, and that's only going to get more pressure.
I was going to ask you about work, actually. I mean, obviously you're part of the construction industry.
Yeah.
So does that mean you've just been full throttle all the way through this?
We had about a week where right at the beginning where we sort of just down tools, and we said no, we're not going to be putting our blokes out there, and then we slowly come back with. We obviously had measures in place just to make sure that all of our blokes are safe and all the sites were operating in like a correct way. But yeah, we didn't really stop.
Right, we're going to finish it there. Let you go to work.
No worries.
Sean, thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank
Again,
you.
Well done on that fantastic night at York Hall.
Yeah,
really pleased.
hopefully the first of many.
Let's hope so, mate. You take care.
Cheers.